Hello. Tonight we're gonna talk and switch gears a little bit. I've done a lot of orientation discussions and briefings on saltwater tanks and everything because that's where I got started, and that, quite frankly, is kind of my passion and hobby is more towards the saltwater tanks. However, as many of you have seen, I did recently set up for my office at work a 10-gallon Glofish tank. So it's been an interesting experience for me because I actually did things in reverse. I started with salt water, did a 36 gallon, just recently upgraded to a 90 gallon, and now I've switched kind of gears a little bit right now while I'm waiting for some things on my saltwater tank, and focused on the 10-gallon Glofish tank I set up for my office at work. A lot of people say, oh, freshwater is so much easier and everything, and saltwater is difficult. It's more expensive. Yeah, it's more expensive. But the truth be told, at this point, I really haven't decided which is more difficult. For example, I run into situations like having to use that goofy mechanism known as the gravel vacuum, which I just don't enjoy doing that in any way, shape, or form, cleaning out the tank when I have to do that. In my saltwater tank, my Diamond Watchman Goby aerates the sand for me, so I never have to worry about it. So, and the salt, and also the benefit, of course, with the saltwater tank is the live rock. Once it's established, it just basically takes care of all the ammonia and nitrites for me, instead of just this small little filter that establishes good bacteria in a saltwater tank, or not a saltwater, but in a freshwater tank. Excuse me. So those are kind of some of these interesting comparisons. Anyways, so what I did is I set up a 10-gallon Glofish tank kit. The light was inadequate, so what I did is I upgraded to an 8-inch blue light bar, which improved things significantly in terms of the lighting up of the Glofish plants and everything, and the Glofish themselves. And they just, everything's lit a lot more evenly, whereas before it was just kind of everything looks good in the center, but everything on the kind of periphery of the tank or the sides of the tank doesn't look very good. So I did that. I got 2 sets of the Glofish plants, just the fake plastic ones, of course, but got 2 sets of those, and so I ended up spreading them out and putting them in the tank. And I got 2 little caves, those moon rocks caves, and they do okay with showing up under the light. Put 15 pounds of the glow gravel in there, the Glofish gravel, and then I made the mistake of trying to translate something that I'd used in my saltwater tanks for the last year, which was a ChemiPure bag, and trying to run that in the Glofish tank. Don't ever do that. It was horrible. Usually in a saltwater tank, the ChemiPure bag will run and make your tank look cloudy and brown and just kind of nasty looking for about 8 to 12 hours. And then it clears up and it looks great after that for the next 2 to 3 months. With the saltwater tank, I put it, or not the saltwater tank, the freshwater tank, the Glofish tank, I put it in the night before I left work for my weekend, and then I came back 2.5 days later, as it were, and the tank looked like absolute crap. It had brown gook all over the Glofish plants, the gravel. The water was all brown and cloudy. It was not looking good. So I ripped that out of there, did a big water change, and then what ended up happening was I ended up having to use the gravel vacuum to try and scoop all that gunk out of there. I pulled all the plants out, the caves that I had in there, basically all the decorations got pulled out of the tank. I currently have 4 of the Tetra variety glowfish in there. I've got a green one, I've got a red one, a pink one, and a blue one, because those were the only colors that my LFS had. They are great fish. The green and the red really stand out. The pink stands out pretty good once it gets under the right light. The blue is a bitter disappointment. It doesn't glow. It's a silverfish with a blue tint to it, and it really doesn't show up under the blue glow light in any way, shape, or form. And as my understanding, the same is true of that, galactic purple color, as it were, fish or whatever. They really don't glow. They just kind of have a purplish tinge to them, which to me kind of defeats the purpose. So if you're looking for a true glowfish that's going to show up really good and bright under those lights, I would stick with the 4, really standout colors. That'd be the electric green, the starfire red, the moonrise pink, and that sunfire orange or yellow one. Those 4 will actually light up and glow under the blue light, which is what most people are looking for. So stick with those 4 colors, leave the blue and the purple alone. Just kind of, a waste, and they're kind of disappointing in color. So anyways, that's kind of, my experience thus far. It's been an interesting transition, and I'm still learning things with this tank and learning things about freshwater in general. I did run the tank, kind of cycle it for about 30 days before I did put anything in there. So I'm hoping that is sufficient enough to take care of things. Thus far, the fish seem to be doing great. You definitely do not want to keep these things as individuals or as pairs. You'd need a group of, 4 or 5, but unfortunately, that's kind of pushing the limits for a 10-gallon tank. So you want to, keep those sorts of things in mind as you're setting things up. You see those tank kits for the, 1.5, the 3, and the 5-gallon glowfish tank. They're really just too small for the glowfish, because they're Danios, white skirt tetras, tiger barbs, and they're too big for anything under 10 gallons, and even 10 gallons is pushing it. So if you're looking at a glowfish tank and really do want the glowfish themselves, anything under that 10-gallon kit is just too small. It's a waste of money. So don't do it. Anyways, those are kind of my experiences, and I'll try and keep people posted, and thanks for watching.